Hello and welcome back with me, fLukedMC. We are back on the LiberCraft server and I start today with some sad news. Peter and Oliver have died. They were brutally murdered by Sniperzik, who fed them cookies. I have had a slight retaliation by murdering one of his parrots and his dog that he left at my base. It was all fair. We did have a funeral. Well, let's take a walk over and see what people have left. As you can see, we're coming up on their post now, and there is very little left. There's just these feathers, which have names. Everyone's left flowers. I've left that. Someone else left a cross. Someone else left another parrot, but it's not quite the same as Peter and Oliver. I'm sure they could very easily be replaced, but it's not the same. The llamas are still here. I had some posts set up. This is the bed that Snipe put down. You can see his sign, the initial spell out, Sniper. He was rather upset that I figured it out so quickly, but then he shouldn't have made it so obvious. But we can't spend all day dwelling on the loss of Peter and Oliver. We need to move on to the island, and I'm just going to take a quick fly up above so you can see what all of these squares are. You can see I've started to lay out just some areas about where the houses are going to go, and I've got signs telling me which houses are which, and later on today we're going to work on getting a few of these buildings in. We're not going to get them all in, but we will get quite a few. Oh, and also I've got some skeleton horses now. They popped up during a thunderstorm. There is also one other very exciting thing I'm very happy about. This it's very small. I'm amping this up more than it needs to be, but ta-da! I now have an Optifine zoom. I can zoom in on things. I haven't got Optifine, this is just a different zoom that does the same thing. There, I can now zoom in on things like that sheet. Oh, I need to try this with a spyglass. Do I have a spyglass? Where's my spyglass? There's my spyglass. Because with a spyglass you can double zoom. Let's go from here. So, spyglass zoom, double zoom. Wow, you can get... Oh, I can't even control it. Is that zoomed in? Last week we fought the Ender Dragon, and I thought for today we would continue, at least at the start, along the lines of boss fights. You see, I am usually lagging behind in terms of progress on the server as compared to everyone else. Many people on the server now have beacons, and I want one. I want a beacon. I want a beacon. I want a beacon to be coming straight up there to replace the BAM beacon that was taken down. Now, naturally, if we're going to start by building a beacon, we need to get a wither. We need to defeat the wither. So, for that, we need to get some wither skulls. This is probably going to be a lot harder than I think it will be. Now, we do need to find a nether fortress, but I believe there is a sign at spawn telling me where a nether fortress is, so I might have some luck there. It's a lot less scary here when you can fly. Oh, I found a little one, but I don't think no one's been here. This could be a good spot. Lots of blazes though, that's the problem. I don't want blazes, I want wither skeletons. That's one, I got one. 1 out of 3. This is a good... I'm glad I came over here. Glad I kept looking. Because this is a completely unclaimed fortress. No one has been here by the looks of it. Because there's no traps set up, there's no farms. That's 2! Oh wow, that's so quick. This usually takes so long to do. And I'm already 2 down. Well, let's see if we can get return to sender as well. Nope. Right, let's come on. Oh, I just missed him. Come on, batting practice. Just missed again. Come on, round 2. Now you missed that time. There we go. Return to sender. Right, one more skull left. Right, here comes one. Ah, there's number 3. Got it. Right, I believe I've got soul soil at home, but let's just grab a couple of pieces anyway. Now that I have the 3 wither skulls necessary to summon the wither and start this fight, we just need to find the right spot to build it. Now I have been informed that mob griefing is actually turned off for the server. I thought it was just creepers. Turns out all mob griefing is off, which means the wither can't destroy blocks. So this fight is actually going to be well, I've been told it's going to be easy, but we still need to kind of do it away from this area just so it doesn't harm any of the animals. Not that there's any important animals left after the death of Peter and Oliver and the pandas safely in the tower. But never mind that. We need to build somewhere. I'm just going to build a room, probably just go underground somewhere, and then we can summon the Wither. Okay, so it's not the prettiest room in the world, but this is where the Wither is going to die. It's going to be the fighting room. It's reasonably well spaced, close quarters. That's fine. I've got my sword. Yeah, I think we should just get into it. It's probably worth pointing out that if I've been lied to and this can destroy blocks and it goes up and destroys everything, I won't be very happy. I think all there is left to do is to actually fight it. It's going to explode, so let's just go through this doorway. I'm just going to go mental with a sword. Where did that come from? Where are these coming from? Also, ow, I made the room too tall, I know that much. I really did make the room too tall. I'm having to jump for this. Oh, this is bad. Let's just go down here for a moment. Nearly halfway to death there. There we go. I think we're ready to go back in and get some more death. Come on. Don't look at that hole in the ceiling. That's just a mistake. That's gravel. What we need you to do is die. There we go, it died, and I've got the beacon in my inventory, or at least the nether star, whatever it's called. Yeah, nether star. So, yes, the fight was actually a lot easier than I would have thought. I only had to step out of the room once to recharge my health. The fact that it doesn't destroy blocks made things so much easier, but I now have a nether star, and we can actually go and build a beacon. There we go, we have a beacon. And, fortunately, I've got so much gold stocked up, I'm thinking this might be enough. I need to do some measurements, some calculations. So, according to this website here, it says I need 164 blocks, which is 2 stacks and 36. So, I've already got a good head start, but we need some more gold. So, what I'm going to do is, there is someone on the server who has built a publicly available gold farm. Usually it's good as XP, but in this instance I'll probably go an AFK there for a little while and just build up some gold so I can build a full beacon. So it took some time, but I've managed to get all of the gold I need in order to build this beacon. You can see me throwing it everywhere, and I'm standing right where I'm going to build it. This plot of land here, I'm going to dig straight down. This is pretty much the center of civilization here on the island. You may be wondering where the lamppost has gone. About a day or so ago, before Sniper viciously murdered Peter and Oliver, he actually bought the lamppost. Came over and decided, he said he wanted to pay me some diamonds to take down the lamppost and rebuild it in his base. He paid. I made sure I could build it again. He had no objections to that. He just wanted that exact lamppost. Bit weird. So he took it down. I asked him if he'd taken a screenshot. He hadn't. He paid me to put it back up, and then he paid me to take it down again. I made quite a lot of diamonds off of the one transaction of him building a lamppost. Currently there are negotiations. He wants to buy the bridge. He wants to buy my bridge to put it in his cave. I believe he offered 5 stacks of diamonds for it. But the thing is that I only have the one bridge, and that takes a lot of wood, that bridge. I offered for him to take the cross for a stack of diamonds, but he wasn't having that. Sniper also did put in a very large order, a full stack of diamond blocks worth of logs and leaves. But that's got a few months of delivery time on that, and it is payment on delivery, so we'll get to that later. But Sniper is basically going to make me one of the richest people on the server. Meanwhile, let's quickly dig down, and I'm going to go all the way down to bedrock here on this spot, and then let's get this beacon set up. There we go, that is bedrock. So we will just go up a couple to make sure that we're kind of above it. There we go, this should be enough space. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, and the beacon on top. Bringing home the beacon. Now, the question is, do I think speed because of moving around the island quickly or haste for mining, I can always change it later. So I'm going to use speed, and we'll use speed 2. So everyone going on the island now is going to be super quick. We're going to be moving super fast around this island now. Now, we just have to go all the way back up. And boom. That's a brilliant colour. I love that. It's not quite the same as the Bambeacon being lime green, but you know what? It's very close, and I like to think that the colour does match. It's a nice colour. I love this. We can get some more lights around here too. And at some point as well, it might be nice to expand and actually have 4 beacons so we can get all of the effects. Now that we have the beacon, it's time to start working on the houses that are around here, and I'm going to focus my attention on this corner. I want to get the tavern and a couple of buildings going down there and a couple of buildings going down here, so you can get an idea of what the buildings are going to look like and how this is all going to come together. But just before we get on with that, if you are enjoying the video so far, you know what to do. Bada bing, bada boom. I hope you did like how I did that. I don't want to just do the normal like and subscribe thing. I like bada bing, bada boom. With a little animation as well. I'd like that. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. So the first thing that I'm going to need in terms of these houses is most of the materials are very simple. Like it's just cobblestone and wood and more wood and lots more wood. And it's an abundance of wood. Fortunately, I'm in the lumber business. I have lots of wood. I am the person on the server who has the most wood. I am selling wood by the boxes because I have so much wood. No one on the server has more wood than me. If I wanted to build a house out of wood, I am the best person to do so. So wood, not going to be a problem. Why do you think I've got 2 netherite hoes? It's for making more wood stock. So, I'm going to quickly get all the supplies I'm going to need, lay out exactly which houses I'm going to put down, and then I'll show you what I've got in store today. So, I've just logged into the server. I just stepped away to figure out what resources I needed for building these houses. There's been some changes. Think, what is all of this? They're everywhere. Ominous by Hyrad. Hey there, I thought I'd spruce up the place a bit. Looks way more ominous now. Pranked by Hyrad. I'm just going to leave that there for the moment. How far does this go, Hyrad? Why? They're everywhere. They are everywhere. This is... Hyrad, this is so much. Why have you given me all of these? But on the side as well. They are everywhere. There's none in there. When did that become Mulber? It said lumber originally, then it was rumble, and now it's Mulber. And there's one on top of the cross, and on the side of the cross. I have to get rid... How many of these are there, I wonder? Right, well I need to get rid of them, so let's just do a quick time lapse and clean everything up. So I have gone away and I've collected all the resources I need for the first 4 buildings. That's these 4 here. That'll be a good start on this area. And if you thought I maybe should be doing more buildings than these 4, wait till you see how much wood this is going to take. This is everything, and it's taking 2 shulker boxes just to carry it. But now that we have these resources and we have the area we need marked out, I think it's time to cue the music and let's get assembling. Hello, this is Luke from the editing room, and I don't have the footage for the time lapse. I've been trying to find it, been trying to find out what happened to it. From what I could tell, I forgot to press start recording on the replay mod. So the build happened, but none of it was recorded, and all of the footage from the first person point of view just doesn't look very good. So sorry, we're not going to be able to have a time lapse for this build. Naturally, the past version of me you're about to see didn't know this at the time, so they're going to be talking about the time lapse as if it has just happened. And the first few houses are in. Fun fact, I've actually already recorded this segment, but I had the microphone turned off, so this is not actually my first reaction, and a little bit more work has been done. Let me show you what I've done. So the main additions outside of the time lapse you've just watched are things like the tuff and the detailing of the planks. I really like how these are coming together. They're getting the aesthetic I really wanted. There's a nice gradient coming through with the different coloured woods. Now, none of the interiors are currently done, so I do need to work on that. And you can see there's also been some cheating with the texturing involved, because this wall, you can't really see it from the outside, so I've cheated a bit and not textured it just yet. That is the same for this wall here. Until we get these buildings in, we don't necessarily know how much of this wall is going to be visible, so we don't necessarily know how much of it needs to be textured. But I really like the little detailing, like the trapdoors, the signs. It's strange, I had to make like 4 stacks of signs just to cover these 5 buildings. And these 5 buildings used a lot of resources, and we have so many more buildings to go. Oh, this is gonna look so good when they all come together. Now, some of them will have a function. This one here is gonna be the tavern. This is mainly where I'm gonna have the clerics, the ones with the brewing stands, and they can get like a bar set up. These 2 buildings here, there's a piece missing there. I'll have to fill that in a moment. I think they're just for show at the moment. I don't have any interior planned. I might put something in here like an exterior. And this building on the end actually has a special purpose, because this is where my cartographer is going to go. And inside, once again, the interior is not done yet, but I am going to have a map wall, because I want a map of the island displayed somewhere on the island. And I figured we may as well match it up with the actual profession. In the end, I actually made 5 buildings, not 4, because this one very neatly ends just here. This is going to be a little alleyway so that you can come through to the kind of like a backyard, like a hidden area. Yeah, tree. And let's also just take a look at the roofs, because there's a lot of texturing and a lot of detailing going on these roofs, mainly using stone bricks and then granite just to kind of fill it out. Here's a tip I've learned: don't use bricks in your builds. They look nice, but they're annoying to get hold of. 1 stack of this block of bricks is 4 stacks of bricks, which means 4 stacks of clay balls. Now, getting clay is easy now with the lush caves, but actually smelting it just takes time. So unless you've got a super smelter or someone you can just buy them from, just don't plan your entire roof around bricks. And originally I'd actually planned this roof around prismarine, but I didn't want to go looking for a ocean monument, and no one else is selling prismarine yet, so this was the next best thing. From up here you can really see how each building starts to interact with itself, how they all cross over, and that's what I kind of wanted. I know it looks a bit messy, but that's kind of the point. The point is for them to be messy. They're supposed to look like they are kind of overlapping and really getting in the way of each other. Particularly once all of these down here are completed, you'll really start to see the kind of narrowing effect of these builds and kind of get an impression of what I want this island to be. This is still being planned as like the town centre, so that's why this is here, that's why the beacon is there. I will need to redo the pathing when the buildings are all put in, because at the moment you can see it doesn't necessarily line up with where the buildings are going to go. Just before we close out, there is one more thing I want to show you that happened in the edit. We are here in the shopping area, the temporary shopping district, until a proper shopping district can be assigned and built up for us. And as you can see, I've made some changes to my shop. I like the original one, but it was done very quickly. It was done mainly to get something up and running. When I went away and actually focused on the design, I came up with this. The idea being a tree right at the back that's extending way past the shop itself, and you can see I should probably change the backlog so you can kind of get the effect of it being a tree, but I really like the ceiling in here. There's spore blossoms hidden around as well. I've got all of the logs and leaves in place. I've put coming soon on these instead of having an actual shop, so people don't look inside and just be disappointed. All in all, this has really come together quite nicely, and unlike the last shop where it was all very confined, I now have a lot of space for things like special offers. You may be wondering where Michelle went. Well, Michelle was let go as she was cluttering up the area. She was left to go and be free, and I don't know where she will have ended up. Maybe some people on the server will be able to find her. As soon as she has a name tag, I don't think she's going to despawn anytime soon. But yes, that's where we're going to leave it for today. I'm really happy with what we managed to get done, particularly with those buildings. That's a good start on the island. Next week we're going to continue along that chain and get even more buildings put on the island. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.